If you were walking down a street and you saw a man, shackles on his hands, locks around his feet, and you held the key, would you set him free? If you saw someone bound and gagged and the ticket to their freedom was in your hands, would saving them even be a question? But see, this is what happens when we don't tell our stories. This is what happens when we silence our testimonies. This is what happens when the guilt or the shame or pride or self-blame makes you deadbolt your lips, keep your mouth shut, because it's none of anyone's business what you did or what you've done, but please hear me when I say, it may not be their business, but someone needs to hear it, needs to know their struggle is not the lonely road that they think it is, that their secret isn't as secret as they think it is, that you've walked that road and taken that path, and yet you still stand. Though the devil was at your back, he did not kill you. Let us be resuscitators. Let us be the tools that spark life and hope. You don't have to be a minister to have a message. You don't have to be a preacher to have a word be heard. Be bold. Brag on your Savior and the power that he holds, whether he took you from a crack house or a street corner or the sheets of someone's bed, whether you were a user, an abuser, misgotten or misled. All of our dirty laundry sits as filthy rags before a holy throne. There is no transgression greater or worse than the other, so if your fear is the judgment of others, think about the judgment you could incur if you don't speak. Go in your mind with me to the end of days. You are standing before the Lord in all of his grace, and he shows you a mass of strangers big enough to fill a sea. And he says, these are the ones who missed a message, all because you did not speak. Now, don't be fooled. Salvation can still be brought to anyone, whether you play your part or not, but understand you will be held accountable. If when the time comes for you to give a word to be used, to be heard, you sit in disobedient silence, all because you value your pride more in the moment than you do being a vessel to help break strongholds. If you were walking down a street and you saw a man, shackles on his hands and locks around his feet, and you held the key, would you set him free? If you saw someone bound and gagged and the ticket to their freedom was in your hands, would saving them even be a question? If your answer is no, then speak. I have one more piece for you guys. Thank you. And then I'll be out of your way. Can you feel it? A kind of humming, buzzing in your bones as if your marrow were a harmonica played by your intuition. Internal alarm alerting you that something is coming. Can you feel it? Now, this ain't no doomsday poem, but baby, this earth is shaking with storms and unrest and violent air, making it harder to breathe. I'm telling you, it's getting darker outside. The street lights are about to come on, and you better be ready to head home when they do. Can you hear it? That kind of eerie silence before thunder cracks, before waves crash and mountains split. There has been a shift. Lines drawn in the sand by invisible hands. Even the hands on the clock seem to move swifter now. The years pass much quicker now, and I used to think it was just a part of getting older, but no. It's almost as if time itself knows it's being spent, knows its reign is coming to an end, when we will no longer be governed by its minutes, policed by its hours, or ruled by its days. So it's sprinting to its close like a marathon runner in the last lap, the last leg, the last days. A phrase that's been used in my grandmama's time and great-grandmama's time, and even before then, I'm sure, but something is different. Can you feel it? There was once a time when the thought of the world ending would rattle me, almost make me weep, because there's still so much I haven't seen or done, but what startles me more is the thought that I won't have fulfilled my call before the end comes. The God-given drive put in us all to accomplish that which we were born to do. I told y'all this ain't no doomsday poem, it's a clarion call to battle. Too many soldiers are sleeping at their posts, hypnotized by the ebb and flow, day in, day out of life, sedated. But may the words of my mouth blast like a trumpet when I say, find your call, find your purpose. It doesn't have to be preaching, it could be honorable service, but find it. And not just out of fear of being on the wrong side of the rapture when Jesus appears, but because you understand there is no higher purpose in life than the plans he has for us. There is no amount of money, no accolade, no reward greater than the sound of well done coming from his lips. Don't be so busy trying to build an earthly heaven for yourself that you miss out on the real thing. Because whether it's tomorrow or in 30 years, whether our generation has passed away or we're all just being given one more day, I see the signs of the times, trying to shake our senses. Wake up, sleeping soldiers. Put on your armor, prepare for your role in the battle because it's coming. Can you feel it? Thank you.